Okay, I swear I'm not actually planning these, guys. Just like last time where we made 2 videos of Frölunda Hockey Club defensemen in quick succession. Last time I think it was in the span of like a day or 2. This time they're back to back. We're making a video talking about the other guy who happens to be a top prospect for a National Hockey League team who currently resides in the Frölunda Hockey Club's blue line. Previously, it was Mattias Norlinder, and by previously I mean like 2 hours ago. Now it is Simon Edvinsson. Now, this video isn't really a particular piece of news or anything, it's just a small piece of information that we were enlightened to during the first game stream of the Traverse City tournament. Now, if you actually watched the live stream, it was available on the Detroit Red Wings YouTube channel. It was a really cool little vibe right there with, I think, about like 2,000 live viewers. I was in the chat. Nyquist was in the chat. We had ourselves a few other notable people in the Red Wings community in particular that were there, present, and actually participating. And the Red Wings had themselves some pretty good performances from guys like Kirill Tucheyev. You had yourselves Lucas Raymond, who was phenomenal, by the way. My goodness, what an absolute gem of a draft pick he has been. But a name that is not included in the Red Wings Prospect Traverse City Showcase, I guess we're going to call it now, is Simon Edvinsson, the top pick of the Red Wings out of the 2021 NHL Entry Draft. He was taken 6th overall. We had spoken about Edvinsson previously. He is another one of these big guys on the blue line, like Moritz Seider, who was playing in the SHL last season. Edvinsson is in the SHL as a 6'6" left-handed defenseman who can play right side and who is very defensively responsible. He's a smooth skater, got a really quick first pass, and when he actually gets going, he can be quite unstoppable. The potential is there, the ceiling is extraordinarily high, and we learn from the broadcast against the Dallas Stars, the very first game that we saw in the Traverse City tournament, I guess you could say, that another team that was out there actually was really, really a big believer of the potential themselves. Let's take a look at what the commentator said during the Detroit Red Wings broadcast against the Dallas Stars. This actually was posted onto the Dallas Stars subreddit, which is why I actually found out about it, because I was actually watching a lot of the game on mute. Plus, I was kind of tuning in, tuning out, coming in for the replays and rewinding to see the goals and all that. But when I did have it on, I didn't really have the volume turned up because one of the guys was breathing into his microphone the entire time and he wasn't talking. It was just like just the regular breaths over there, and it was getting really annoying, especially as somebody who went to broadcasting school and learned all about audio. But this is the post that I'm referring to over here. The Dallas Stars actually had Simon Edvinsson rated number 1 overall in the draft, ahead of Owen Power. This bombshell was nonchalantly dropped during the Traverse City broadcast yesterday, 2 days ago, from the perspective of this video's upload time. I thought it was worth talking about or posting for posterity. Their play-by-play guy said that Jim Nill told him this directly. The rest of the post goes out there and talks about some speculation. Hey, maybe that trade call that ended up being the Dallas Stars moving back to allow the Wings to take Sebastian Cossa in the 2021 draft started out with the Stars asking about moving up to select Edvinsson instead, because it's kind of like in 2017 when the Stars had Miro Heiskanen ranked number 1 and Makar number 2. But either way, having Simon Edvinsson in this spot, where it's apparently confirmed by a play-by-play commentator here in the broadcast who, according to his own word, was told directly from Jim Nill himself, who is the GM of the Dallas Stars, that Simon Edvinsson, the guy that the Red Wings had at number 6, was apparently number 1 on their board. Boy, oh boy, this is kind of getting juicy, isn't it? When it comes to the 2021 NHL Entry Draft, you'll find the same sentiment in all the pre-draft scouting analyses done. Is that even the right word to say? Analysi? I'm not really too sure. But you'll find the same sentiment said by most people who are in tune with the draft on TV, in the media, on the magazines and all that, whatever. That this year's draft, 2021, is so wide open that number 1, Owen Power, even though he is the unanimous first overall pick, according to Bob McKenzie and the 10 out of 10 scouts that he surveyed, This draft is so wide open that you could have the best player be taken like 10th overall. Now, I know it's not really all too unrealistic to say that, oh, any draft can have the best player be taken somewhere after 1st overall. That's not wrong to believe. It's just, in this year's draft specifically, with the guys of Power, Beniers, Eklund, McTavish, Hughes, Clarke, Guenther, Wallstead, these guys were all kind of in the same tier to the point that if you really wanted to split hairs, you could make an argument that any one of these guys could have been top 3 picks. Mason McTavish went 3rd overall to Anaheim. I can tell you right away that a lot of people in the scouting community didn't really think of McTavish as being a guaranteed top 3 pick. I personally had him hovering around the 5, 6, 7 range in my personal view. You had yourselves what was a very diverse list that is nothing like we had seen in the previous few years. What happened in 2016? Okay, it was Matthews, he was guaranteed to go number 1, Laine was going to go number 2, and then number 3 was supposed to be Puljujarvi, he dropped to 4. Sure, Dubois went 3rd, but at the very least you had Tkachuk, who went a little bit after because the Vancouver Canucks passed on him. I can't get over that, man. Sucks. But that was indeed pretty much what we had as an idea going into the draft. In 2017, hey, Hischier, Patrick, these guys went 1-2. Guess who went 3rd overall? Miro Heiskanen. You had Cale Makar, who went right after. These were the guys that were kind of ranked to go in that spot. Elias Pettersson going 5th was a little bit of a surprise, I'll say that. But right after, it was a lot more in line with what people believed, with Cody Glass, Casey Mittelstadt, Gabe Vilardi, etc. In 2018, we had ourselves an even bigger shock because the top, 7 didn't go the way we thought it would. We had KK going 3rd overall to Montreal, and we had Barrett Hayton going 5th overall. Those were 2 big surprises that had a lot of people shooken up like, whoa, we're really seeing some diversity here in these drafts. But in 2021, things were so different that you could have had scouts out there that said, yeah, I have Edvinsson 1st overall, and they wouldn't call you crazy. You could have said that Luke Hughes could have been 1st overall. You could have said that Owen Power would have been 1st overall because of his incredibly high ceiling. You could have said that Dylan Guenther could have been 1st overall. Craig Button was talking about that on an episode of the podcast he was on. He went 9th. You had yourselves a very big, diverse list of so many guys that could have been top 2, top 3, top 1 overall picks, that if there's a draft to go out there and say that, yeah, this guy that was taken at 6th overall was ranked 1st by this other team, it makes perfect sense that it was a 2021 pick that is in that conversation. And Simon Edvinsson is a guy that if you go ahead and take a look at the projections for him, I mean, he was ranked 3rd by ISS, 3rd by TSN and Bob McKenzie, 7th by Future Considerations, 11th by McKean's. There are some other scouts on Twitter that had him as low as 40. This is what Patrick Bacon said over here. He has all the advanced analytics and whatnot published on his Twitter account. He says that he had him 45th overall and 12th amongst defensemen. He went 6th overall to Detroit instead. So it's just kind of funny, isn't it? I love seeing these stories of the draft and all that, because we even had word, I think it was previously, that Elias Pettersson, talking about that surprise 5th overall pick, might have been 1st overall on some boards. Maybe Detroit had him at 1st. Who knows? There's a whole bunch of speculation to go out there, but I guess I'll just end the video off with this. If the Dallas Stars had Simon Edvinsson at 1st overall, then I guess you kind of have to go ahead and take a look at the last time the Stars had a guy that they really liked who happened to be a European defenseman at 1st. Miro Heiskanen. And I guess Heiskanen, that guy's making $8-something million. He is a very good, very capable, very smooth defender in the NHL. He's going to take that number 1 spot soon from John Klingberg if he has not already done that himself. So if the Dallas Stars are seeing the same kind of confidence in a guy like Simon Edvinsson as they did with Miro Heiskanen, I mean, they kind of nailed it with Heiskanen, and having Makar at 2nd kind of solidifies their beliefs as well, because, I mean, we all kind of know how good he has been. My goodness, that guy's so fantastic. It kind of makes me a little bit more at ease with the idea of Simon Edvinsson coming over here sooner rather than later. He is not at the Prospect Showcase right now. He did not play against the Dallas Stars the other day. He's not going to be participating in any of the other games because he is in Sweden playing against men, playing in the top pro league in that country for Frölunda Hockey Club. And sure, his point per game pace isn't there anymore. He went pointless in the previous game that they played. But still, It's great seeing Simon Edvinsson doing his thing over there, playing for the Champions Hockey League, though. He's got 4 games played, 2 points in the CHL, so that's interesting to keep up with. Either way, though, talk to me in the comments. What do you think about Simon Edvinsson being ranked 1st overall by the Dallas Stars and how the Red Wings snagged him up at 6th? We have ourselves some more Red Wings games to watch on the YouTube channel over there, so you can probably find me in the chat somewhere lurking, if not commenting about how good Lucas Raymond is, so go ahead and check that out when the games are on. But talk to me in the comments. What do you think? I hope you enjoyed this research for 9, and bye.